Hi, everybody, and welcome into Midwest Racing Central. Today, I'm Pete Pistone. Lots to get to here as we roll into the month of July, and lots to bring you up to speed about LaSalle Speedway. And let's bring in from LaSalle Speedway, Tony Izzo Jr. is with us here on Midwest Racing Central today. Tony, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate getting the opportunity to discuss the LaSalle Speedway.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. Well, let's just start with some unfortunate news. I know it's 4th of July weekend. You had a big show planned on Thursday, but boy, this weather here in the Midwest is, everyone knows here in the Midwest has been rough. And I know you had some damage at the racetrack, Tony. Let's start with that. How was the damage done at the racetrack there? And where are you right now in getting things back up on speed?
Well, they said it was a streamlined wind burst or micro burst or something, but it seems like every time right before the Summer Nationals, this is the realm for us. We lost the skybox a few years back, a couple days before the Summer Nationals, and the problem with the issue here is it's a lot of internal stuff. It isn't just move the skybox that got hit in the past and scrap it and keep going forward. The internal guts of our infrastructure with our electrical grid has been damaged, and it's kind of one of those where do you start and stop type of things. You know what I'm saying? And that's we're already a week from it happening, and we're still haven't even been really able to do any kind of repairs yet or any kind of cleanup yet because there's so many people that get involved with the power company, the insurance companies, the laborers, the contractors. I mean, so it's been slow going, which is the frustrating part because in a world that we live in with racing and everything, it's always go go go, and we hate it that we had to cancel the July 2nd Summer Nationals race. We have put on more Summer National races, whether it was just at LaSalle, Kankakee, Wilmont, Davenport, Canton. The Izzo family has put on several, probably more Hell Tour Summer National races than any other promoter. So this race is near and dear to our heart. So losing it, you know, really kind of sucks. But you opened the show by saying this weather in the Midwest, the crazy it's been. I'm not going to sit down here and complain because I got a few pulls down and some damage that set us back because there's other people out there that have it way worse than us. But we'll rebuild and come back stronger than ever, just like we did. That made the choice 3 years ago when we rebuilt from um, being closed for 5 years to now back up and running.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right about that. I mean, it has just been really rough. A lot of folks have lost homes and all those kinds of things. So that said, given what you just told us, Tony, is there a timeline where you're going to be back up and running for what the next event will be there at LaSalle Speedway this summer?
Yeah, I mean we're going to be up and running back by the 25th of July. It's our big outlaw monster truck drags. We found when we came back, I guess it was 2 years ago, that me and my partner Justin McCoy, my mom's still heavily involved. We're all late model dirt fans, but we figured out that not everybody in this area, not everybody is just a late model dirt race fan. So we've been very successful with doing other stuff such as a rodeo and monster truck drags and freestyle and different things, trunk or treats and different things so that the local community can be a part of what we're doing out here. And not everybody's got. I tell everybody, Pete, that we're how's the racetrack going? I said, well, we're not a necessity, so it's hit or miss. Well, what do you mean? Well, we're not toilet paper. We're not food. We're not this. People don't have to come. You know what I'm trying to say? They come if they have extra money, and extra money today is hard to come by. Having said all that, our next race is July 25th, the Outlaw Monster Truck Drags and Freestyle Motocross. It's one that, again, was very successful for us last year, and we're going to make sure we have it because having it helps us rebuild, re- recoup some of the costs from what it's going to take to get back up and running.
Well, you say, and I understand what you're saying, but when you have had events like the Flow Racing Night in America last year, I mean, people come to your racetrack, Tony, and you get a lot of fans, which is great. The other part of your schedule, though, I think is interesting. You mentioned it's not just the late models. You had the IRA sprints earlier this year. You're going to have the Badger midgets earlier or later this year. How did you go about putting together the racing schedule for your track this year?
Well, I figured out a while ago that variety um, is what you need. I mean, we had a $5 night, Pete, and when I you know my history a little bit. I was out running all over the country trying to chase a dream of becoming a professional race car driver. When that kind of ended, and I came back to LaSalle and helped my family start. I said to them, I said, you guys $5 nights are packed. Why do we not have more $5 nights? No, 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 you can't you can't you can't do that because it's no longer a variety. It's no longer different. It's all, and I said, well, I think you're wrong. So I said, let's put one in a month. It killed us. It killed us because now you gave people uh, the option. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to take away that I'm giving them an option, but it's an option of maybe you're not a late model fan. Well, then come and support the IRA. Come and support the midgets. Like I say, our local economy here is pretty tough. So um, not everybody, our locals can't afford a flow night in America. That whole Badger midget night's going to be fan appreciation night. It's going to be a $10 ticket. It's going to be $2 beers. All our sponsors are going to be um, invited with their families to come and close the season out with us. But having said that, it's just to answer your question in a roundabout way. I just try and put a variety out there so that the people can pick and choose um, where they want to spend their $20, $30. Maybe not this month, maybe next month, because we used to hold them hostage. I guess when not necessarily hold them hostage, but when you raced every week, you the people out here just can't afford to go every week. So that's how we determine once a month is the best thing for the LaSalle Speedway and LaSalle area.
You mentioned again for some of our listeners who may not know, the racetrack was idle for a while, and you brought it back after 5 years, and your family's been involved there. What was that process like? How important was that, and how much of a difficult task was it, Tony, to bring that racetrack back to life that had all that history there at LaSalle?
Well, it started out as a joke. A good friend of mine, my new partner Justin McCoy with G&M Recycling, we became friends when he raced here and all that, and then we just this place is near and dear to his heart. I keep using near and dear, but I mean he loves this place almost probably at this point more than I do. And I only say that because I just been here so long. You know what I'm saying? And I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying he really loves it. And having said that, he's got a race car himself, so we went racing together 2 3 years ago, and I was helping him with his race car, different things, and all the time conversations would come up. Why are you promoting these races all over the country? Why are you in Davenport? Why are you up at 141 Wisconsin? And why are you over here and over there when you own your own racetrack? I said, I come and help me and we'll reopen it. And then that kept saying, come and help me and we'll reopen it. Well, then it got to the point where I said, come do the work and we'll do it. Well, next thing I know, he was out there doing the work. So here we are, um, which is great. Which is great because, like I said, so how hard and difficult was it? It wasn't the task everybody thinks because we had great help. Justin knows a lot of people in the community. A lot of people stepped up uh, and are still stepping up to support what we were doing out here. We had so much volunteer help. We had so much financial help that it made the rebuild easy. And I can't thank every one of those people that wrote us a check, every one of those people that put blood, sweat, and tears into helping us get back up and going. That's why, like right now, I just got off the phone with Justin before I got on here. You know, we're not at a stalemate, but we're at a. Do we spend a big number rebuilding the electrical grid right now? Do we spend what we need to spend to get back up and running? And his discussions with me were, yeah, we're going through a tough time right now with the economy, the gas prices. We lost a few races because of rain. You say Flow Night in America. We're rescheduled for September, but it's never going to be what it was in May. May 5th last year was the biggest kick and the biggest kickstart for us because they come out in drones. And Right now, we've lost two shows already to weather and different things. So I'm kind of rambling on here. But the moral story was when I was on the phone with him just now, he assured me that his partnership isn't going anywhere. So, we're going to, like I say, rebuild and be bigger and better than ever. But the rebuild process was pretty easy with the help of the great community.
Well, I appreciate you giving me some time here. I know the listeners were very interested on what's going on with your racetrack there. I'm glad to hear that things are going well, that you're going to get back up and running, Tony. And we wish you nothing but the best for the rest of this year and for the future down there at a really cool racetrack down there in LaSalle.
Yeah, again, I appreciate you guys letting me take a minute to share the story and share some history of the place. And once again, like I said, I can't thank everybody enough that's helped us. Nobody wants to see racetracks close. We all know that. There's a lot of negative Nellies out there sometimes, but at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and more people pulling the rope is much easier than one guy trying to pull the rope. So doing shows like this will help. And again, I appreciate you having an interest to share with your fans and my fans the little bit of history and what we got going on down here.
You bet. All right, that's Tony Izzo Jr. again, folks. Check it out, LaSalle Speedway, historic racetrack. Put on a heck of a show down there. They're going to be up and running here for the second half of the year. Check out LaSalleSpeedway.com for all of their information. Check out MidwestRacingCentral.com. We'll keep you up to speed on what's happening there all summer, and certainly a lot of opportunities to go down there as well. 4th of July weekend is upon us. We've got it all covered here around the Midwest, so keep it right here at MidwestRacingCentral.com. I'm Pete Pistone. We'll see you next time here on Midwest Racing Central today.